to the Soar to Success Summit. I'm Vanessa Levin, your host, and joining me on the stage today is the one and only Laurie Berkner. Welcome, Laurie.
Hi, thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited that you're here. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Laurie and her work just yet, let me tell you a little bit about her before we get started. So she is recognized as the queen of kids music by People magazine. Laurie Berkner's a singer, songwriter, lyricist, author, and founder of Two Tomato Records. With an average of more than 12 million monthly streams and millions of CDs and DVDs sold, Laurie's songs have become beloved classics for children worldwide. As a leader and innovator in children's music and entertainment for more than 20 years, Laurie has released 13 best-selling award-winning albums. She was the first recording artist ever to perform in music videos on Nick Jr. She appeared regularly on the network Jack's Big Music Show and helped develop the short-form animated musical preschool series Sing It Laurie on Sprout TV. She recently created the series Laurie Berkner's Song and Story Kitchen with Audible Studios, who released it as a 10-chapter audiobook through the Audible Originals brand. You have to check that out. She's authored a number of picture books based on her songs, the most recent of which were published by Simon & Schuster. And she's also written the music and lyrics for 3 off-Broadway children's musicals, I Don't Know When You Sleep. She's performed at the Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall, and the White House, among many other prestigious venues, including the Soar to Success Summit. I had to put that in there. So without further ado, let's welcome Laurie Berkner from laurieberkner.com and the Laurie Berkner Band to the stage. Yay! Now, one of the things, Laurie, before we get started, that really shocked me, I don't know if shocked is the right word, but really surprised me, was that you used to be a preschool music specialist. Is that right?
Yeah. That was really how started writing kids' music. I needed more music than I had, but learned to find songs that worked, to help
Right.
manage the classroom and that the kids were excited about, and that I also wanted to sing over and over again. And
Right.
so I ended up writing my own.
So you moved beyond Old MacDonald, is what I hear you say.
Yeah, although that song is pretty genius.
It is. It is. But I think that your songs are very special too. So
Thank
not only were you a preschool music specialist, but you spent more than 10 years as the music teacher at Rockefeller University's Child and Family Center, the West Side YMCA, and multiple New York City preschools. That is so cool. So, like you said, you've had all this experience and it inspired you to start writing your own songs. But how do you feel that maybe these experiences have attributed to your success as a children's musician?
well, a couple of things. I think having spent that much time with kids, it definitely it reminded me of so many things, both from from the adult's perspective, as in somebody who is a teacher in a classroom trying to work with kids. Like I said, I needed songs that helped me to manage the classroom. But I also think that just being around that many kids just reminded me of what it was like to be that age. And I quite frankly had completely forgotten. Like, I really felt like I had forgotten. And I remember when I first started thinking to myself, these kids talk a language that I do not understand. And I know I must have spoken it when I was their age, but I don't remember it, and I had to relearn. And so it was just like a lot of listening, and I think spending time with kids that age, which of course every preschool teacher does. But for me, I was in my 20s when I started, and just hadn't spent a lot of time around kids in my recent past.
Well, I am so glad that you had that experience that inspired you to write all these wonderful songs that are enjoyed by millions of children around the world. Um, So yeah, that's why we are so excited that you're here. But the focus of this year's summit, for those of you watching know, the summit's focus this year is play. And a lot of you, I'm preaching to the choir here. I believe that music and play go hand in hand because, they both keep us young at heart, right? I mean, that's kind of what you were talking about, Laurie. You talked about how you needed to remember that you had once been that age and kind of connect with that, I think. And that's certainly how I have felt in all of my years in the classroom, that teaching keeps me young at heart. Um, so how do you think, in particular, that your music supports play or playfulness?
Well, I do. I don't know. A lot of them, I write them trying to think about what I would think would be funny or silly if I were a kid. And often that's not just, oh, I think a kid will think this is funny, but that like a kid said something and they thought it was funny, and then I put that in the song. Like I'm really trying to pay attention to them. Um, but also, just so many of my songs are based in movement and play and moving kids' bodies, our bodies when we're playing. Like that's a huge component of play, and also, of course, acting things out, right? So I have some story songs, but a lot of the songs are also just acting out being an animal, being using our bodies in some way, and doing that acting out, I think, is just inherently playful. So those are some of the different ways. Also, sometimes I like to write songs. Like I have a song called Victor Vito that I really wrote because I thought it was funny to say a lot of the words, like the way it physically felt in my mouth. Victor Vito and Freddie Vasco ate a burrito with Tabasco. Like it just felt really like satisfying and playful at the same time. And so I was hoping that kids would feel that way too, which seems like they do. So, there are a lot of different ways, of course, to bring play into music, and I try to do it as much as I can.
Well, I think that you touched on a lot of great things there. Well, first of all, Victor Vito, that's alliteration right there. That's a huge part of phonological awareness. And it does feel fun to say, right? So you're touching on a skill that's a requirement for many preschool teachers. Alliteration is part of phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is the foundation upon which reading is built. So therefore, you could say that Laurie Berkner helps your children learn to read. That's the next title of your next album.
I love it.
But, and then you talked about movement. And I think that is something that teachers have always known that young children like to move. I mean, that's no secret, right? Everyone knows young children like to move. They move, they wiggle, they fidget, they can't sit still. We talk about their short attention spans all the time. But what I do think is new is our deeper understanding that a lot of us have developed in these last few years about how that movement actually supports their learning, right? Because we can't teach a child something, quote unquote, teach, if indeed they're not having their physical needs met and they're not getting that movement that they need. A lot of them can learn and move at the same time, you know?
Or even it's not just that they can move it and learn at the same time, but they are learning better because they are moving
Yes,
at the same time. I think that's
exactly.
kind of what seems to be what
Yes.
we're just like understanding and discovering more. I mean, personally, that's how I write my songs. Is I like, oh, I don't have an idea. I take a walk.
Right.
I used to like, when I couldn't take a walk, I would literally like get on a treadmill or do just anything that I could get into a rhythmic feeling in my body. And I think that that's part of it too, right? Is that something in music and rhythm and movement and the way that they're all connected, and they 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 help each other like in this sort of woven way that I don't think we fully understand, but we can clearly see.
Yes, and there's such a great body of research that's coming to the forefront now on all of the benefits of moving and, like you said, learning because they're moving. all of that great stuff is coming to the forefront now and really becoming more of an emphasis as opposed to the maybe sit and get that maybe some of us, myself included, had when we were children, right? When that wasn't such a well-known thing. I mean, we still, of course, we had lots of playground time, but we didn't have that knowledge base at that time about the benefits of moving in the classroom. Now, I think that a lot of preschool teachers have always had that that knowledge and understanding that if I don't let them move, I'm going to pay the price because they're gonna it's going to be mutiny in the preschool classroom if you don't have movement. So you're going to be constantly fighting that uphill battle. So maybe you have a song that you'd like to share with us that maybe you think it exemplifies playfulness and kind of what we were just talking about, movement and all of that. What do you
Yeah,
think?
definitely, definitely. I actually, so I have an idea for what I want to play, but I wanted to throw out one other thing that occurred to me when I first started working with preschool age kids. I thought a lot about the fact that they had been moving longer than they had been speaking. So,
Oh,
right, so there's like this very attuned ear to the human voice that I think kids at that age have because they're learning how to talk, right? Especially, I mean, at Rockefeller, it was partly was the Child and Family Center, but I also was the music teacher at the Infant and Toddler Center. So I started with, I think the youngest kids were like 3 months. I mean, they were very, very young. And you could see like I mean, obviously we all see this as kids grow, but it's sometimes easy to forget just like in a very short life. Like if you have a 2 year old, they've been moving for, on their own for close to 2 years, but they've only been, some of them are just starting to actually really say words. Some of them may have been doing that for a year at the most, I would say, right? Maybe. So like it's just something to be conscious of. I felt like, oh, they're like the movement is something they've mastered in comparison to the talking.
right.
So that is like it's so satisfying to
Mm-hmm.
move my body if I know what I'm doing. And if I'm still like blah, blah, trying to work on the words, it can be more frustrating. It's exciting, but it's like a very different feeling, right? So anyway, that's just something I also was thinking about a lot when I started writing the songs. And this song is one that I know lots of lots of preschool teachers use. This was also, I didn't actually put this out until my third album, but it was one of the first ones I wrote. It's called The Goldfish. And when I wrote it, I thought, oh, it's just, I wanted kids to be able to move. And so they pretend to swim and they could run around the room using their arms, and that would be swimming. And that got a lot of energy out and was great. But I didn't record it right away, but I was playing it in the classroom with kids. And one day, one of the kids, I didn't have the part, there's a part in it that says, that were sort of silly. Wait a minute, we're fish. We don't do these things that the song is singing about. But I was singing about fish doing things they don't usually do. But the wait a minute part wasn't in there. I just sang about fish doing things they don't usually do because I thought that would be funny and that kids would like it. And so I had this one girl, she was probably 2.5, maybe 3. She just went, wait a minute, we're fish, we don't do that. And then that became the whole, like, that's what makes this song great, I think. And it was because of her. Like, it wasn't me. It was just that I heard her say it and thought to put it, like, let it stay in the song. Like, that's where I come in. So I just want to, like, give Ildiko her due. She's probably like 20 now. But also just a reminder that, like, same thing, all those the greatest things come out of just listening to the kids, right? And that's, I think, also where we learn to really be playful the most. So this is The Goldfish, and I usually start with kids finding a place. Usually if I'm in a classroom, we would be sitting around a circle. If I'm doing it at a show, which is what I do much more now, they're facing me, but wherever they are, I ask them to go to sleep on a rock in the bottom of the ocean, and I will wake them up. And I'll wake you up. Lots of little fish were sleeping on a rock in the bottom of the ocean. They lifted up their heads and they shook out their tails and they said, you know what they said? Let's go swimming, let's go swimming, let's go swimming. Yeah, let's go swimming, let's go swimming, let's go swimming in the bottom of the ocean. Then the little fish got so very, very tired that they came back to the rock. Put down their heads and they put down their tails and they took a little nap. And when they woke up, they decided to take a shower because they were very dirty. So you can start by washing your hair. So they washed their hair and they washed their ears, get them clean, and they washed their tummies, and then they washed their very long fishy beards, and they washed their noses, and they washed their toeses, and then they said, wait a minute, we're fish. We don't take showers. Let's go swimming, let's go swimming. Yeah, let's go swimming, let's go swimming, let's go swimming in the bottom of the ocean. Then the little fish got so very, very tired that they came back to the rock. Put down their heads and they put down their tails and they took a little nap. And when they woke up, they decided to ride their bicycles. So if I were in the classroom with them, I would lie down on my back and bicycle my feet in the air, or you can have them run around the room. All ways are fun. So they rode to the left, and they rode to the right, and they rode all day, yay, and they rode all night, night, night. They rode down the hill, and then faster still. Uh-oh, faster, 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 faster. And then they said, wait a minute, we're fish. We don't ride bicycles. Let's go swimming, let's go swimming. Yeah, let's go swimming, let's go swimming, let's go swimming in the bottom of the ocean. Then the little fish got so very, very tired that they came back to the rock. Put down their heads and they put down their tails and they took a little nap. And when they woke up, so you can have them do anything you want. Often I have them brush their teeth here or pretend to eat their breakfast of cereal or whatever the thing is. But I was going to just let you know that I have this new part that I added for the times we are in. And when they woke up, they decided to wash their hands. So they turned on the water and they got a lot of soap. They made some scrubby, scrubby suds. But did they rinse yet? Nope. They washed for 20 seconds long while they sang this song. Ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-da, ba. You know this song. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Then they dried their fishy hands and they shook their fishy heads. And this is what they said. Wait a minute, we're fish. We don't have hands. Let's go swimming, let's go swimming. Yeah, let's go swimming, let's go swimming, let's go swimming in the bottom of the ocean. Let's go swimming, let's go swimming. Yeah, let's go swimming, let's go swimming, let's go swimming in the bottom of the ocean. Blah, 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 blah.
That was awesome. Laurie, I love the addition. That was so cute. I'm going to tell our viewers right now because they're all going to say, "Where can I buy it with that version in it?" You're going to just watch this again, hit
Right.
pause, and remember it and memorize it because I don't think she's released the version of that song. This is just something you did recently, right?
Yeah, I did. I think I posted it on social media once, and I've done it on my Facebook Lives that I was doing during this COVID time. But
Awesome.
no, it's not officially recorded.
There you go. So you can go over to her Facebook pages, and she'll tell you all about where you can find her later. But and then you can look for when she sings those again there. Or you can watch this again. You can pause it. But yeah, I don't think it's because I know they're going to ask. That's why I brought it. I really liked, one thing that your song brought up for me was little kids love to do things. And you know how when you like the freeze dance, right? Like when you freeze, they love that kind of thing. So when you say stop, and then they really respond to that kind of thing. Um, it, it's it's almost like a race, like you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
plays into self-regulation skills, is my point. Like when they were bicycling faster and faster, right? They have to start out slow and go faster and faster. That's all part of developing that self-regulation, that ability to regulate one's own body and emotions. And kids really like it when we do that kind of thing with them in music. We go faster, 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 slower, slower, because it's very playful to them. It's like a game. They have no idea that they're actually learning. These are skills they're going to need for the rest of their lives. So I thought that was really cool.
thanks.
Um,
Yeah, I think there's also the one of the things that I learned from the movement teacher that I was working with at the time was really the understanding that contrast and what I think of now as like the rhythm of like kind of responding to kids' rhythm of needing of a human rhythm, right? There's sort
right,
of like our heartbeat of breathing, and so the same thing, you get faster, 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 but then you stop, right? Or you take a nap, and then you get up and you go swimming,
right,
and then you take a nap, and then you get up and you go swimming, right? And so it's sort of the same thing that you're talking about, that they are learning self-regulation, and it's also a way for me to be able to help them regulate themselves
mm-hmm,
for everybody in the room.
right. I think you're absolutely right. It follows that natural rhythm of things. We're active and passive, and they can predict easily what comes next in the
Yeah.
song as far as the activity. They know that they're going to go to sleep, and then they're going to wake up and do something fun and active, and then they're going to go to sleep, and then you know what I mean. So it follows our natural rhythm, and kids like that kind of pattern, if you will, of things happening in a pattern like that. So um, yeah, that's huge. And a lot of teachers get um, stuck sometimes in singing songs only during certain time periods. Like I'm going to study the oceans, or we're going to sing the goldfish song. And what I always like to tell them is that good music is good music, just like good teaching is good teaching. Like we don't reserve our good teaching for certain themes or times of the year. You know what I mean? Good teaching is good teaching. We do it all year long. And so good songs are good songs, and we do them all year long and make them part of our routine and our ritual. And that's what makes children love them and get the most benefit out of them, right? That's why they like to hear stories over and over again, the same story, right? So yeah. So another thing that I read about you, Laurie, the New York Times called you the Adele of the preschool crowd, which made me laugh, if there was such a thing. So what is it, do you think, about your music that makes it so appealing to young children? I mean, anyone can write one song, and it's a great hit, and then maybe not write another, but your songs are all just so on point. And they please not just children, but adults like it too. So what do you think about what makes it so appealing?
Um, Thank you. First of all, that like that just, it feels so good to hear that because, I write something I don't really know uh, what's going to happen with it until it's out there in the world. Um, I think part of what makes the songs appealing is just I try really hard to think from the perspective of a child. I write a lot of my songs in the first person. So if I'm a child singing that song, it's about me. Like that means I get to sing a song about me. And I'm sure we could talk about this in a much more academic way, but I just do it more from my memory of like I remember being a kid and I wanted everything to be about me. Like that seemed that I think is that's normal, right? So so if I can create a song that's not only coming from the first person perspective for a child, and I'm singing about things that are in their world, and in a way that is, like you said, has a level of predictability, but not everything is completely predictable about it, so that
Right.
it's still fun, so that you bring in the playful element, bring in some movement. That's something I'm good at doing. That's something I love to do and my body wants to do. Okay, so that makes the song more fun too. And then hopefully make it musical and good to listen to. And then a grown up doesn't hate it. So I just feel like there are and putting a lot of those elements together really help to make a song something that I think works for kids.
Yeah, and I think you hit on another good point there, is because I hear not just teachers but parents say this all the time too. If I have to sing that song one more time or read that story one more time, I'm gonna lose it. And I think that's what makes your music so endearing, not just to children but to the adults that play the music for them, because um, it's it also speaks to adults. I think that it's not just you can only say the itsy bitsy spider so many ways, right? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you though, parents do get sick of my music. I know this, but they're usually very kind about it when they tell me. I mean, but the main thing is, I think, like, I definitely wrote the songs because I didn't start out as a performer. I mean, I was a performer myself, but I didn't start writing kids music to perform it. I started out writing kids music to use it in the classroom, which meant I knew I was going to have to sing it over and over and over again. And so I really, like, if I was writing a song, even if I thought that the kids might like it, if I didn't like singing it, or I had some feeling of like, boy, this annoys me or something about it, I would just change it. I would write something else in that spot. I was like, it's my song. I can do whatever I want with
right,
it. Right. And I wanted to make it something that I felt really excited to go in every day and sing with kids. I didn't want to show up there and and feel like, oh God, I can't believe I have to sing that song again.
right.
So I worked hard. I still work hard to do that because now I have it that I have to sing the same songs. I mean, I've been singing some of the same songs for more than 20 years at every single show that I do. So, um, yeah, I'm glad I thought about that in advance.
Right.
That would have made things hard if I hadn't.
Yeah, and we're glad you did, because there's some music that we don't like to hear over and over again. And so I do get a lot of teachers asking, I've played the same music in my classroom for 5 years and I need something different. So you're always a great go-to source for that.
Thank you.
Um, so did you want to? Do you have a song that you'd like to share to us that perhaps is very appealing to children, or maybe it's something new that you might
Yeah,
have?
yeah, both. I was thinking both actually. This is newer. It's a couple of years old now, but for people who have like my albums from the '90s, this will be new for them. And it's definitely one where I was writing it. You'll see as we go along. It's called "Waiting for the Elevator," and I thought, oh, I thought about writing a song about elevators for many years, but I didn't know how to do it in a way that I thought would really be good. And finally, I started to really think about it because the numbers. I was just like, oh, the numbers. It's so fun. You go up and you come down. Like, how could that not be fun, right? Um, so I finally wrote it, and I kept adding things that I hoped kids would like, and it seems like it worked. So here's Waiting for the Elevator. Waiting for the elevator. Might come sooner, might come later. When it does, we'll step inside and go for a ride. Step in, and we press the button together. Press the button, and then you repeat after me. 1, 1. Going to the first floor. 1, 1. Going to the first floor. Up, up, up. And you can point up and stand up really tall on your tiptoes and go very high. And when it opens up the door, there's a dog. What does the dog say? Ruff, ruff. Saying, wag your tail with me. Okay, let's do it. Now we're wagging while we're waiting for the elevator. Ruff, ruff. Might come sooner, might come later. Ruff, ruff. When it does, we'll step inside and go for a ride. Press the button. 2, 2. Going to the second floor. 2, 2. Going to the second floor. Up, up, up. And when it opens up the door, there's a cat. Meow, meow. Saying, come and jump with me. Now if I were standing, I would be jumping. Now we're jumping while we're waiting for the elevator. Ruff, ruff, meow, meow. Might come sooner, might come later. Ruff, ruff, meow, meow. When it does, we'll step inside and go for a ride. Press the button. 3, 3. Going to the third floor. 3, 3. Going to the third floor. Up, up, up. And when it opens up the door, there's a cow. Moo, moo, saying, come and rock with me. Now we're rocking while we're waiting for the elevator. Woof, woof, meow, meow, moo, moo. Might come sooner, might come later. Woof, woof, meow, meow, moo, moo. When it does, we'll step inside and go for a ride. Press the button. 4, 4. Going to the fourth floor. 4, 4. Going to the fourth floor. Up, up, up. And when it opens up the door, there's an elephant saying, stomp your feet with me. Now we're stomping while we're waiting for the elevator. Woof, woof, meow, meow, moo, moo. Might come sooner, might come later. Woof, woof, meow, meow, moo, moo. When it does, we'll step inside and go for a ride. Press the button. 5, 5. Going to the fifth floor. 5, 5. Going to the fifth floor. Up, up, up. And when it opens up the door, there's an alligator, snap, snap, waiting for me. Uh-oh, okay. We all have to get inside the elevator now. You ready? Now we're all inside the elevator. Ruff, ruff, meow, meow, moo, moo. Snap, snap. That includes the alligator. Ruff, ruff, meow, meow, moo, moo. Snap, snap. Everyone is side by side. Let's go for a ride. Press the button. L, L. Going to the lobby floor. L, L. Going to the lobby floor. Down, down, down. And when it opens up the door, everybody out, 'cause we're not waiting for the elevator anymore. Snap, snap.
That was awesome. Oh my goodness. There are so many. Like, I was trying to count all the different things that kids could learn through this song, and I filled up an entire post-it note. There is something for everyone, I think, in your songs. Would you agree?
Thank you. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I think if you think about it almost maybe from the other way, like, yes, there's something for everyone, but maybe the reason is because I think what I'm trying to do and what I think any songwriter who's really trying to connect with people does is
Mhm.
that we try to find universal things to sing about, right?
Right,
And ways of connecting. And there are, um, it's maybe a little bit different to do that with a preschooler than it would be to do it with an adult. But at the same time, I'm also trying to reach the teachers and the parents. So it's
right,
that it's almost like every song is something, it's that we're connecting to the same things. We're interested in those things. And
right.
so yes, and I think it's this sort of the other side of it as well.
Well, I was thinking, a couple of things. First of all, a lot of teachers, and I'm sure you experienced this yourself when you were working in as a music specialist. A lot of teachers work with what we call multi-age groups, where they have children of all different ages in the classroom.
Right.
And for a teacher who's not used to that type of a setting, it can be problematic because we often see learning as being something for a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 2-year-old or an infant. And what really struck me about your song was that, or this particular song, I should say, was that your infants could be getting out of this song the woof, woof, meow, meow, all of the animal noises. That's something they can totally relate to. And then your preschoolers, your three, fours, and fives, they're be getting the number, but also the ordinal number, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. The concept of up and down, those are positional words, directional words. Um, there's so many concepts in that song that if you were a teacher writing a lesson plan, and you had to, and of course, there are some teachers out there who have to put the standard or the guideline or whatever it is next to every single thing they do in the classroom to justify its existence in the classroom, which is sad but true. That this would meet so many of those that it's pretty much what I call, a no-brainer to then use a song like this because it just, and animals on an elevator. Now, come on, that's just really funny. I've taken my dogs on the elevator before, and it's been quite the experience, I will tell you. There were no alligators or elephants, but there were my dogs, and it was very interesting. So, yeah, I really think that's going to appeal to a lot of children. Now, this is a newer song, you said?
Yeah, so my most recent album is called Waiting for the Elevator. It's the title track on it. I have some singles I've released since then, but but this song I also released as a single prior to the release of the album, which I think was in October. But I had released the song like maybe a year before that. I was working on all of it, so it's been around for a little longer.
I like it. Very cool. So, Laurie, I was shocked to read this number. You've released 13 albums. That is a lot of songs. Um, but the one that I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but the one I think that put you on the map that we all know and love is We Are the Dinosaurs. Am I right? Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
All right. So, like, when I go to a concert, so I'm dating myself here, but let's say I went to go see the Eagles and they didn't play Hotel California, I would be upset, right? So, in this case, you're in this role, you're playing the Eagles. So, go ahead and play your Hotel California for us.
Right. I mean, this really was like pretty much the first song I ever wrote. So it's really like amazing to me that it has become the classic that it is. So yay. Thank you.
It endured the test of time.
Okay. We start by clapping and marching because we are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. What do you think of that? Woo! We are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. We make the earth flat. We make the earth flat. We stop and eat our food. Stop and eat our food when we're in the mood. Stop and eat our food and then we march around. 'Cause we are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. What do you think of that? Woo! We are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. We make the earth flat. We make the earth flat. We stop and take a rest over in our nest. Stop and take a rest at the end of the day. Stop and take a rest over in our nest. Stop and take a rest and then you'll hear us say. And then I either let them wake me up by yelling, "Wake up, Laurie," or if they're asleep, "Wake up, dinosaurs!" Rah! 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 'Cause we are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. What do you think of that? Woo! We are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. We make the earth flat. We make the earth flat and then we roar! Because we are the dinosaurs. That's okay.
All I could think about was I have to make sure that my nephew has a link to that video on YouTube. He's 3.5. He's very much into dinosaurs. So
There's a there are a bunch of them. We actually did like a 20th anniversary version as well with the whole band recently, so that's up there. So
oh, cool.
Find it.
I'll make sure I send it to him. So when I was preparing for this interview, Laurie, I read a quote about you from the LA Times that said, Laurie Berkner does what Fred Rogers did, respect, validate, and reassure young children. And many of the teachers watching along with us today are also huge fans of Fred Rogers, including myself. So that quote really resonated with me. And I think it's so important that we respect, validate, and reassure young children every day at home and in the classroom. So can you elaborate just a little bit on how your music helps do that for young children?
Yeah, I think it helps again to be singing about themselves. I know that a lot of the songs that I write them because they're things that I feel like I've learned as an adult or along the way in my life. A lot of them in therapy, honestly, where that I wish I knew sooner, that I wish I had kind of um, made a part of the way I think about myself earlier in my life. Like I have I wrote a song a long time ago called I'm Not Perfect. And it was really because I had lost something like my planner and I was afraid I wasn't going to show up at a kid's birthday party. And I was trying to like work it out for myself. And or I have a song called I've Got So Much to Give. And that's also like remembering like, oh, I am valuable. I'm worth something. Like just songs that when I write them, I wouldn't want to sing a song over and over again um, that was doing something different than that. So maybe not every song is about reassuring a child, but I do think if I would never write a song that isn't like that. And I think also that just writing a silly song or a song that has movement in it that allows a kid to feel mastery is in and of itself doing that anyway, even if the words aren't so explicit. So I think that's why so many of them feel that way. So many of the songs feel like that because even if it's not the first thing I'm thinking of, I think it's also that well, I mean, I know so many teachers, I know you all feel this way. It's like we respect kids. Like we love kids. We love I love hearing what they have to say. I think they're so creative and smart, and that it's easy for us as adults actually to kind of shut down some of the things that we are so good at doing naturally as children. And so I think that maybe that also is part of what comes out of it in the songs, is just that feeling that I have. And whenever I'm writing the songs, I am thinking about kids so much. So I hope it comes through in the songs.
I think it definitely does. It definitely does. So before we let you go, Laurie, got to get another song or so out of you. So you mentioned something about a beautiful light. Is that one you'd like to sing for us, or what would you like to sing? Because we are at your disposal here, because you've got thousands of preschool teachers just hanging on your every word. So you choose.
Yeah, I mean, I would all the ones that I mentioned, I think are would be nice for this moment. But I would like to sing "Beautiful Light" because I released it so recently. I just wrote it, and um, actually had a preschool teacher say to me about that song. She said, "Oh, I think this would be a beautiful song for graduation,"
Yes.
and it made me think, "Oh, good." Like I again, let me also say actually that I wrote this song like thinking about kids saying this about themselves, and also to remind myself. So I feel like as adults it's also really wonderful to hear these words and hear them come out of our own mouths, right? And just the same way that we can say affirmations about ourselves, it's sort of like a song affirmation. I kind of think of it that way. But so I'd like to share that one. And uh, I don't have to do the whole thing, but you'll get the idea.
Sure.
I am a beautiful light in this world. I am a beautiful light in this world. I am a beautiful light, and I shine so brightly. A beautiful light in this world. I have a beautiful heart just like you. A heart that's beating and connecting. A heart that knows what's true. A heart that laughs. A heart that lives. A heart that loves. A heart that gives. I have a beautiful heart just like you. And I am a beautiful light in this world. And you are a beautiful light in this world. We are a beautiful light, and we shine so brightly. A beautiful light in this world.
Oh my goodness. That was beautiful. That teacher was absolutely spot on. Great for graduation, but really in this time in our world, I think that's a beautiful song for anyone to sing. And I really, really like it. Wow.
So there's I think two more verses, which also are very it's helpful. Some of there's a little movement. Anyway. The whole thing I think is it's a
Yeah,
nice. But it's also you can do it short, just to get that
right.
feeling. And sometimes we need like just like a short infusion
That's
of
right.
reminding ourselves, right, that like we're here
Yeah.
to love each other and be the like beautiful human beings that we are.
I really like the fact that it's an affirmation. I think for the teachers who are watching who do um, a morning meeting or whatever you want to call it, I think this is the perfect song. I used to call them opening and closing songs, to kind of signal the beginning and the end of the day. And I think this would be perfect for the beginning of and the end of every single day. Um, is an affirmation. Just absolutely gorgeous. Laurie, everyone out there watching is going to want to know where to get not just this song or where to find you or how to connect with you or what are the best ways to do that. Please let us know.
Sure. So my website has everything on it. That's laurieberkner.com, and it's Laurie Berkner. Uh, I've been doing a lot on my Facebook page because, like I think I mentioned before, during this time when kids were being homeschooled, I did. I, I said it was 46, but I actually went back and checked. I think it was 49. 49 half-hour morning concerts
Wow.
Facebook during the week to help out with parents and teachers who were trying to do things from home and needed some music for kids. So we did. I did that with some remote help until towards the end of the school year, and but there's still lots on Facebook and also Instagram. That's just the Laurie Berkner Band on both of those pages. I'm also on Twitter. It's a little less. It's fun. It's a place you can actually talk to me directly more so than Instagram and Facebook. I do come on both of those and respond to messages and things, but I'm the person who's more on Twitter because no one in my office wants to do Twitter. I don't know why. So I end up just putting random things on there. It's less preschool teachery and more just kind of me.
Lori, yeah. And YouTube, right? That's where I know you from the
Thank
most.
I'm terrible at this. Sorry. We have a Pinterest page with lots of information and stuff. And yes, YouTube, which is a great place that all the videos are there. We have playlists of videos in grouping them in that can be helpful if you have themes in your classroom. Same thing, also listening playlists on Spotify. That is a great place to go and like all the transportation songs and the numbers songs and the colors, so, that sort of thing. So that can be those can all be really good resources.
That's fantastic. I love that you have that Spotify option for teachers because, especially in today's day and age. So,
Actually, can I say
yes.
two more quick things? One is uh, we were talking before, I think before, maybe it's before the interview, but recently did a seminar called Music in the Classroom. And out of that came a Facebook page called Laurie Berkner's Music in the Classroom. And if you want to go on there, um, anyone can come in. You have to join it, but it's just like myself and the people in my office, like just sort of making sure that there's no one who is actually spamming and stuff coming in there. And there are a couple thousand people on there, and most of them are preschool teachers, music therapists, occupational therapists, librarians, and homeschooling parents and other parents who are interested, and they're all and other kids musicians, and so there's a ton of information in the people who are on that page, and it's a great place to go and like ask a question or share something that you think is helpful to you that you used in your classroom, or you're looking for a kind of a song or maybe something to teach that it's just totally there's a resource where we're not even moderating it that much. I just wanted people to know it's there because it's the same way that this has so many amazing people and so many minds together. It's just a great place to get information. Um, and I was going to say one last thing that I don't remember.
Hey,
Okay.
we've all been there, no problem. Well, Lori, if you remember, let me know. But I want to thank you so much, Lori, for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to join us here today at the Soar to Success Summit. And we love you. I speak for thousands of preschool teachers and their students. So that's a lot of people. So until next time, I'm Vanessa Levin, and everybody, this is Laurie Berkner. Thank you so much, Laurie.
Ah, such a pleasure. Bye. Thank you.